Hey everyone, want to talk about the future? Well, maybe not the WHOL future, but at least the future of video, right? Specifically, we're going to be looking at how AI is like totally changing the game for training videos. And the cool thing is, you don't need to be a tech genius to understand what we're talking about today. We're breaking down this article. It's called How Text-to-Video AI is Changing the Way We Create Training. And it came out pretty recently, February 18th, 2025. So by the time we're done with this deep dive, you're going to know exactly how this tech works, what it can do for you, and whether you should be like checking it out or not. Right.
One thing that really gets me about this is how this whole AI thing is making video creation like accessible to everyone. I mean, the tools we're talking about, they used to be only for like big fancy production companies with tons of money, but now it's different. Businesses of all sizes, even just regular people can use this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge, right? Like completely changes the game. So, okay, picture this. You've got all these training materials, maybe a script, a presentation, or even just like a super detailed email. And with text-to-video AI, you can turn all those words into an actual video, complete with visuals, voiceovers, the whole nine yards, even music if you want. It's like having a whole production crew just waiting for their orders, except this crew works crazy fast.
And yeah, that speed is a big deal. Instead of taking weeks or months to make a video, we're talking hours. Think about it. Like, if you had to roll out a new safety protocol at your company, you could have a professional video explaining it all ready to go that same day. I mean, being able to move that fast, that can give you a real edge.
For sure. And speaking of advantages, the article mentioned a company, Vion, that's actually using this AI stuff. They're helping businesses make tons of training videos without having to pay a fortune for traditional video production. You know what I mean? So not only is it faster, it's also like way cheaper.
Exactly. Vion is a great example of how these tools are becoming more, I don't know, user-friendly. What's really interesting is that they're focusing on animation, which is perfect for training because you can like take these complicated ideas and make them easy to understand visually. Plus, you don't have to worry about all that other stuff like lighting, finding locations, or hiring actors.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so we've talked about saving time and money, but the article also mentioned consistency and scalability as big benefits. And I'm kind of curious about that. Like how does AI help with that, especially for bigger companies?
Well, think about it. If you have a lot of people to train, it can be a nightmare to make sure everyone gets the same information the same way. But with this AI thing, you can make sure all your videos have the same branding, the same message, the same look and feel. So you like make a template once and then the AI handles the rest, no matter how many videos you got to pump out.
Okay, this all sounds amazing, but I'm sure some of you are like, hold on, how does this thing actually work? Like, what's going on behind the scenes to turn words into a video?
So the magic ingredient here is something called natural language processing, or NLP for short. Basically, the AI reads your text, but it's not just reading the words. It's figuring out what you mean, what kind of tone you're going for, even the emotions you want people to feel.
So it's not just slapping some random images on top of a voiceover, right? The AI is actually trying to understand what you're trying to say and figure out the best way to show it visually. That's pretty wild.
It is, and it's not just about picking the right pictures. It also looks at your text to figure out how fast the video should move, what style of animation would work best, even what kind of music would fit the message.
It's almost like having a creative partner, not just a tool.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And even though the AI does a lot of the work, you're still the one in charge. You can change things up, add your company logo, tweak the visual, and make sure the video fits your specific goals. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
Awesome. Okay, so we've talked about what text-to-video AI is and how it works. But now I'm curious about what's next, like what's coming down the pipeline for this tech.
Oh man, that's where things get really interesting. The article mentions some super advanced stuff that's in the works, like VR and interactive elements. Can you believe that? Imagine people could actually learn by doing things virtually, like experiencing real-life situations and practicing their skills in a safe environment.
Whoa, that's next level stuff for sure. It's like the line between training and the real world is getting blurry. But okay, before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's just take a minute to think about everything we've learned so far about this, groundbreaking tech. What are some of the key takeaways that really stood out to you?
I think the biggest thing is just how fast and efficient this whole text-to-video AI thing is. I mean, imagine making awesome training videos in like a fraction of the time and for way less money than traditional methods, It's a total game changer, especially for companies that need to be able to adapt and move quickly.
Totally. And it's not just about speed and cost, right? Text-to-video AI can also make sure all your videos are consistent no matter how many you make, which is hard to do when you're relying on people.
And don't forget about how it can make training more engaging and effective. When you combine visuals, voiceovers, and all that interactive stuff, it really brings the material to life. It makes a much bigger impact.
So now we want to hear from you, our listeners. Now that you've got a better understanding of text-to-video AI, what's one thing that you're most excited to explore? What piques your interest? Or maybe you have some concerns about this new tech. Think about those things, and we'll be diving even deeper in the next part of this deep dive.
Welcome back. So, we've spent some time talking about what this text-to-video AI is, how it works, why people are too excited about it, all that good stuff. But now let's, actually see how it's being used, out there in the real world.
Right, exactly. Like, where is it making a difference?
Well, the cool thing is that it's being used in so many different areas. I mean, we're talking everything from corporate training to marketing, education, even entertainment, you name it. Imagine a big company that has to onboard, let's say, thousands of new employees every year. In the old days, that would mean a ton of in-person training sessions, which, can be super expensive and take forever. But with this AI stuff, they can just make engaging onboarding videos that cover everything, company policies, product info, the whole shebang. And anyone can watch those videos anytime, anywhere. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's super efficient, but it's not just about saving time and money, right? I mean, couldn't this tech also, actually make learning better?
Oh, absolutely. Think about all those boring training manuals you've seen, just pages and pages of text. They're the worst, right? But now you can use text-to-video AI to turn all that dry content into dynamic videos, with visuals, animations, even interactive stuff. And that makes learning way more fun, and people actually remember what they learn. It's a win-win.
Yeah, the article actually talked about using AI to make safety videos, which I think is a really cool example. Because instead of just reading a bunch of rules, employees can watch a video that actually shows them what could happen if they don't follow the rules. It's way more impactful and memorable.
Exactly. And it's also great for accessibility. AI can easily make videos with subtitles and translations so that people all over the world can understand them no matter what language they speak. It's like creating a more inclusive learning environment for everyone, which is really important.
For sure. Okay, but hearing all this makes me wonder, what about human creativity? Is there a risk that AI will just take over and replace human video creators? I mean, it's something a lot of people are worried about.
Yeah, I get it. It's a valid concern, but I don't think it's that simple. See, I believe that AI isn't meant to replace human creativity. It's more like a tool that can help us be even more creative. Think of a painter, right? They need a brush to create art, but the brush doesn't tell them what to paint. You know what I mean? In the same way, AI gives us the tools to make videos, but it's still up to us, the humans, to come up with the ideas, the story, the emotion, all that stuff.
So it's more like a partnership then, right? Like AI and humans working together.
Exactly. It's the best of both worlds, combining human ingenuity with all the cool stuff that technology can do. And as AI keeps getting better, I think we're going to see even more creative and innovative things happening. We're already starting to see that with those interactive VR training experiences we talked about. It's pretty wild.
I know, right? It feels like the possibilities are endless. But before we get too carried away with all this futuristic stuff, I think it's important to talk about the potential downsides, too. I mean, every new technology comes with its own set of challenges, right?
Oh, absolutely. We can't just ignore the potential problems. One thing we need to think about is control and access. Who has access to these powerful AI tools and how are they using them? Are they being responsible? These are questions we can't just brush aside, especially as this tech becomes more common.
That's a really good point. And it brings up another big question. What about jobs? I mean, if AI can make videos faster and cheaper than humans, what's going to happen to all the video editors, animators, and other creative folks out there?
I know, it's a tough question, and it's definitely something we need to talk about. But instead of being scared that AI is going to take our jobs, I think we should be thinking about how we can adapt and evolve alongside it, think about what happened with digital photography, right? It didn't kill off photography, it just changed how photographers work.
That's a good way to look at it. So instead of being afraid of becoming obsolete, creative people should be thinking about how they can use AI to make their work even better and explore new possibilities.
Exactly. And it's not just about individual people. We need to think about the bigger picture, like as a society, how can we make sure that everyone benefits from this technology and that everyone has a chance to be a part of this new creative world?
Those are some big questions, and I don't think there are any easy answers, but it's a conversation we need to have, especially as AI becomes a bigger part of our lives. It's not just about the technology itself, it's about the choices we make and what we value as a society.
You said it, and that actually leads perfectly into the final part of our deep dive. We're going to be talking about some potential solutions and ways forward as we navigate this whole new world of AI.
Okay, welcome back to the show, everyone. So we've talked about how text-to-video AI works. We've seen some cool examples of how it's being used right now, and, well, I think it's safe to say this tech is pretty amazing. But now I want to look ahead. Like, what's next for text-to-video AI? Where is all this going?
Yeah, it's exciting to think about, right? Like, we're just getting started with this technology. There's so much potential. But one thing that really has me thinking is personalized learning. Like, imagine AI could make custom training videos that are specifically designed for each person. It would take into account their learning style, how fast they learn, and even what they already know.
Wow, that's like having a personal tutor who can change the lesson on the fly, depending on how you're doing. No more being stuck in a class that's either too fast or too slow. Everyone learns at their own pace.
Exactly. And the AI could do all sorts of cool stuff, like analyze your answers to questions, see how you're progressing, and even adjust the visuals and the speed of the video to make sure you're getting the most out of it. I mean, if we can really make this happen, it could totally change how we think about education. It would be more engaging, more effective, and more accessible to everyone.
Absolutely. And you know what else this makes me think about? Being able to create videos in different languages instantly. Like, imagine being able to translate training materials or educational videos into any language you want so anyone in the world could understand them.
Yeah, that's huge. If we can break down those language barriers, it would open up so many possibilities for education, business, cultural exchange, you name it. It would be amazing to see people all over the world learning new skills, accessing information, and connecting with each other, all thanks to this technology.
That's a really inspiring thought. But, you know, we've got to be realistic too, right? Like, with any powerful technology, there are going to be some concerns and challenges along the way. We already talked about jobs and making sure people are using this tech responsibly. But are there other things we should be thinking about?
Yeah, for sure. One thing that comes up a lot is the whole issue of like authenticity. As AI gets better and better at making videos, it's going to be harder to tell the difference between something made by a human and something made by the machine. And that raises all sorts of questions, about copyright, intellectual property, and even what it means to be creative in the first place.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation. Like, if anyone can use AI to make a professional-looking video, how do we make sure that human artists and creators are still getting the credit and recognition they deserve?
That's the million-dollar question, right? It's going to take a lot of thought and collaboration between tech people, policymakers, and the creative community to figure out how to navigate this new world. We need to come up with new rules and guidelines to make sure that creativity and innovation can still thrive, even as AI becomes more and more powerful.
I agree. And it's not just about the legal stuff either, right? It's also about how we adapt as a society. Like, how do we prepare ourselves for a world where AI is everywhere? What skills and knowledge do we need to succeed?
Education is going to be key, for sure. We need to start teaching kids about AI from a young age and not just the technical side of it. They need to understand the ethical implications, the societal impact, all of it. We need to help them develop critical thinking skills and encourage them to really think about the kind of future they want to create with this technology.
I love that. It reminds us that AI isn't just something that's happening to us, it's something we have a say in. The choices we make today are going to determine how AI develops and how it affects our lives.
Exactly. We have this amazing opportunity to use AI to make the world a better place, to solve problems, to unlock creativity, and to create a more fair and inclusive society. But we have to make sure we're using it wisely and responsibly.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, everyone, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of text-to-video AI. I hope you've learned some cool stuff, maybe had some aha moments, and, started thinking about the possibilities and challenges that this tech brings to the table.
Yeah, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible because who knows what the future holds.
That's right. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.